everybody. Welcome back to Reality Water Cooler. I am Sarah in Texas, and this is our place to chat all the latest reality TV gossip. And of course, Jeff Lewis. Oh my gosh, I hope you're having an amazing day. It is Wednesday. Y'all, like it's 82 degrees and sunny right now in Texas. I am loving it. I almost was going to wear the shirt that I wore the same day that I met Jeff and Shane after their show back in December, and then Teresa Caputo, but it's long sleeves. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to be so hot. So I hope y'all are having amazing weather like I am. I do not love fall and winter. They are not my things. Even last night with the kids, I was like, it was like 6 o'clock. We were about to eat some dinner because my husband grilled steaks. And I was like, oh, soon it's going to be pitch dark at this time. And my son goes, oh yeah, like 6:30. I go, no, like 5:30. Like I can't stand that. It makes my days feel so short. It makes me not want to do anything. The cold weather makes me not want to go to anywhere. So let me know if you are a summer person or a winter person, because I am definitely summer all day long. I cannot imagine living up north or Canada or somewhere that's cold all the time. I can't even imagine it. Anyways, well, thank you so much for joining live. It is way more fun. If you are brand new, welcome, welcome, welcome. Get comfortable in comments. We love to hear what you have to say. If you're watching the replay, shout out. Still don't forget to make a comment, like, subscribe, all those things. Okay, let's get into it. Today we're going to touch on a little Andy Cohen, a little Bethany, a little Kelly Dodd, a little Shannon Beador. We'll round it out with a Salt Lake City recap chat. And then, of course, we'll get into today's Jeff Lewis Live, who had Teresa Caputo on. And he is in love. Oh, my God. I think he could talk to her forever. First of all, I think her hair fascinates him. Like, ask some questions. How long does it take? Do you do hair yourself? Do you use hairspray? Do you use gel? Like, what in the hell? I wanted some answers about her hair for sure. Didn't y'all? Yes, for sure. Spring, summer. I love it, love it, love it. Okay. Andy Cohen live this morning. Oh my gosh. The more I listen, the more I wonder how he and John Hill ever dated. Like, I know it was a long time ago. I don't even know how they ever had anything in common. They seem so different now, though, not just because Andy has, decided to become a dad of two kids. That is definitely not something that I can ever see being of interest to John Hill, but just like Andy Cohen comes into the show and he was trying to be all vibrant and happy. And John Hill was like, yeah, I'm still trying to decide, my mood for today. And I'm like, okay, I get you. But then Andy Cohen starts to tell him about how yesterday he just was in a bummer of a mood. He gets these DMs that he'll read sometimes that are, guess, in that file that's called like request or whatever, that don't come up immediately. He's like, sometimes I'll have time and I'll go over there and read them. He got blasted from some lady that had taken some pictures with him maybe even a while ago. And she was basically blasting him, going, I was a fan of yours and now I've met you in person and I don't like you at all and all this stuff. I'm like, I'm sure they get that all the time, right? I mean, I'm sure Jeff Lewis, he kind of teases that he likes the mean DMs, but I'm sure it hits him some, if you're having an extra emotional day, you're not up on your testosterone as he teased about today, it can hit you in the right moment and you can be a little more or less sensitive than other times, right? But Andy is all in the feels. He's talking about having a rough day. He was late to this ad week event that he was going to meet Jeff Lewis at yesterday. And I don't know. I mean, John Hill just was giving him nothing, no excuses, nothing. It almost sounded like he was about to say, well, quit being an asshole if you don't want people to call you out on being an asshole. And that's not exactly what John Hill said, but that's kind of what I heard. Like, can y'all even believe they ever dated? They just seem so different. And even John Hill again said something to Andy about, no, talk about what you want. I'm just here to tag along, basically. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't like that I don't even like that it's called the Andy Cohen Live Show. Like, it should be Andy and John, like Andy and John Live or something. I don't know. You probably need to put Andy Cohen in there just for the fame factor, but I don't know. Did y'all get a weird vibe today? Super weird. Wasn't loving it. Oh my gosh. Speaking of complaining, Kelly Dodd, The whole Rick and Kelly show today was a lot of them saying that they had gotten some complaints yesterday about too many advertisements. So they were going to try to do less of those. But I mean, I kind of agree with Rick and Kelly. That is how they make money. I mean, you do watch commercials on TV, or you pay a premium to like watch, apps or streaming services without commercials. I don't know. It was interesting. But then they bring Kelly's mom, Bobby, in because people were trolling her in the comments for basically admitting that she smokes weed, not around her granddaughter, but that Kelly's daughter, who's almost 18 years, knows about it. I mean, again, I agree with Kelly. My mom, after my parents always lived, or I always lived within 30 miles of my parents. My parents never moved from the time I was 10 months old. I never moved far away from my parents, never went away to college, always made that a priority. But when my dad passed away in 2004, my mom built a house the next year very close to us. So she was very close to my kids, very close to me on the daily, on the weekly, all the time. So I would rather have that close relationship with my mom and with my kids and my husband than the idea that she smokes weed every once in a while. And I guess she's got some medical issues called neuropathy and maybe some other stuff. I don't know. I just don't even think they should have given it any time. I don't know why I'm giving it any time. I guess because it just struck me that they felt the nerve or they felt the need to defend themselves. And to me, I love and respect, maybe not when they were on OC, because they definitely had their moments. Kelly had her moments with her mother. She had her moments with her brother, Eric, but they seem in a good place now. And I love that Kelly's mom comes and stays at their house, helps out with their daughter when they have to go away to different things. So I don't know. What did y'all think? Oh yes, I love that, Krista. Thank you for getting everybody started with the chat for sure. What else? Shannon Bedore finally said something. She makes a video yesterday afternoon. It's mostly her face. You can tell she's outside. These are the types of videos, y'all, Instagram stories, I should say, that she did often. And she had done one just maybe that afternoon that she got the DUI later that night. Because I remembered seeing it, and she was walking with Archie. It was kind of a thing where Archie wasn't moving and she was trying to have to pick him up on the walk, things like that. But she basically says, I'm here, I'm doing well. I'm not able to talk about it yet, but when I am, I'm going to be fully accountable and, talk about it and all this stuff. And I'm not able to talk about it now. And then she pans down and shows Archie. Y'all, the way I got some DMs saying, well, I'm glad she wasn't driving with Archie. She's walking. She looked great, though. And I think her face looked a little bit thinner. Other people said maybe she had some bloating from a lot of alcohol use at the time. Who knows? How long ago was that? I can't even remember. At least 3 weeks. I don't remember the date of it. I just remember it was a Saturday night going into Sunday, like 1 a.m. I don't remember. Shout out everybody. Yeah, as a medical professional, people shouldn't judge. If it works for Bobby, that should be all that matters. Yeah, and I don't know much about weed, but I would venture to say I would trust somebody on weed than I would alcohol, as far as to the extreme, right? I don't know. Who knows? I don't know enough about it. Okay, that is all with that. Let's get into episode 7 of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Are you watching? Did the mid-season trailer get you more motivated like it did for me? I guess there's this upcoming birthday party. No offense, Monica. I don't think you have a lot of money. Okay, who knows? When they go on these girls' trips and they host, right? They always act like the host should get the primary bedroom. I can't say master anymore. Get the primary bedroom, or they talk about things. Is that person really paying themselves, or does Bravo pay and it's just the person's idea to have the trip and they're involved in all the planning and they're responsible for that? I mean, I just can't imagine Monica has the extra money. She keeps talking about how she's a single mom. I also, again, I don't know if that means the father of those 4 kids. I think the 17-year-old might be a different dad. I'm not sure. And then the 3 younger ones, the 12-year-old, the 6-year-old, maybe the 7-year-old, or 5 and 6, whatever. little girls, I think, are all the same dad that she just divorced from, the same husband. But anyways, they tease this, you know, birthday party at this, you know, resort and all the chaos that goes on with it. Okay, somebody said that Bravo pays, which makes sense, right? Yeah, that makes sense to me for sure. Oh, Lola Gucci said you've never been into Salt Lake City. I was into it because I could tell that they knew each other, right? They may not have been the best of friends, but there was some history, even with Heather Gay and Lisa. Uh, didn't they go to school together too? And then now we know who else went to school together. Who else? Monica and somebody like is Salt Lake. I've been to Salt Lake City a couple times. It's not a small town. How did all these people go to the same school together? I don't remember who went, but there was definitely some drama in the beginning. I think Lisa and Heather Gay acting like they didn't really know each other much, or that Heather Gay was kind of had these rumors, or Lisa had these rumors about her in high school. I can't remember all the details. Um, yes, Kelly says they're all excellent reality TV people. I mean, and Angie K, I mean, she might be selling out her marriage and selling out her, you know, young daughter who she seems to be super worried about, but I don't know. If you're that worried about her, I don't know that you go on a crazy ass reality TV show where all your skeletons are going to come out of the closet, right? True or not, it doesn't matter. Once a rumor has gotten out there, there's no amount of squashing it that can happen. And then Monica keeps coming up saying, you know, I've heard this from numerous people. I've heard this for years, not just the Salt Lake City ladies. So who knows? Okay, the Easter Bunny invitations that Angie K. I mean, I'm here for Angie K this episode because we get to see more of her house. It's amazing. It's everything I want to see. The windows were beautiful. Later at the party, this Greek Easter party that she hosts, it was snowing so hard. And I wanted like 30 seconds of them just showing the windows of this beautiful snow because it looks so pretty. But then, being cheap that I am, I started thinking, what does her electricity bill cost? What does the heater bill cost to have those windows? It looked like no kind of blinds, nothing. Also, what kind of privacy? Like if you get up in the middle, you know, or 11 o'clock and you go get a snack and you're in a t-shirt and your panties and you've got the lights on and it's dark outside, every freaking neighbor is seeing you. Like, don't they? It looks like from the outside of the house, it's definitely a neighborhood. I don't feel like they're on like 20 acres where nobody's ever seeing them, right? Or am I missing something? Definitely looks like from the front, there's like the steps going up. It's really pretty. Maybe too much marble, a little too white and gray, like everywhere. But that is the look, and that is the look of wealth, and that's what I'm looking for in Salt Lake City. That's what I'm looking for on all the housewives. Probably why they don't show a lot of Monica's house, right? I don't think she's got the wealth that I'm looking for there. Okay, Whitney and Justin. Is this the relatable part of it where they just bitch and moan at each other like normal married people? Like, I don't want to see your arguments. I don't want, I mean, I want arguments, but I want some good stuff. I don't want you arguing over who's doing the laundry and who's going to pick up the kids. And I'm making bacon and it burned, and my husband is sitting on the couch looking at Instagram. Like, I don't care about that. Like, I want you to be able to afford, and I want you to afford a nanny to do that shit for you in the morning. That way, you and Justin aren't complaining about this, right? I mean, if I can afford help around the house on one income, I want my housewives to definitely be able to afford a housekeeper or somebody that you're not having these huge arguments with your husband about, right? Like, if that all you have to talk about, I'm sort of wondering if the spice has gone from their marriage. I feel like you know, she said a couple of episodes ago, or one or two, something about she's got two jobs. Well, she's not talking about the job of being a housewife. And y'all, that is a job. I mean, they film, I think, 4 to 5 months out of the year, a lot. And then the other times, there's like other things about promoting it. They go on podcasts, they do Watch What Happens Live, they go to BravoCon. Everywhere they go, they're probably stopped to ask for pictures too, or ask a question. So that kind of becomes their whole life, don't you think? Nick James says Whitney's become too big for her britches. That might be what I'm thinking. Oh my God. And I don't like that at all because she did seem very real in the beginning. Yeah. I don't love it. Don't love it. Yeah. Marie says it's relatable. However, it's mundane, nitpicky arguments. Like, I just get something good. Like, I want some really juicy stuff going on. Anyways. Okay. Lisa is still not coming off good to me, y'all. That comment, first of all, that candle shop looks super cool. If there's one of those in Houston, Texas, somebody let me know. Somebody DM me, invite me to go with you. I totally want to make my own candle. I want to mix up some scents. I think that'd be so fun. Such a fun girls' night out, right? Oh, thank y'all on TikTok. Make sure you like the live. Just hit the tap the screen, please. Yay, we have over 1,000 likes. Thank y'all, TikTok. Anyways, but she's talking about this. She's not even talking about it to Angie, but this girl like looks over at them. And that's when you realize, ooh, the editors are letting us know that like they've been recognized, right? So this young girl, probably a senior in high school, also comes over and says to Lisa, hey, I'm friends with your son. And Lisa says, this looked a little produced to me, don't y'all think? Lisa says, oh, did you know about him going on this mission? And she says, yeah, I did. And she says, I knew before you. And then Lisa says, yeah, I'm not earning Mother of the Year, am I? No, you and Mary, like Mary has one kid. Lisa Barlow has two kids. One is like a senior in high school. The other one, Henry, is what, 9, maybe? A huge gap. Okay. Not that that really matters. That doesn't really matter. The gap age doesn't matter. But I'm saying they've got two kids. You can't keep track of what the hell's going on for two kids' lives. I've got 5 freaking kids, y'all. 2 are gone away at college. So, I'm not seeing them on the daily basis, except for, if we FaceTime or whatever. But the fact that Mary's son lives with her, with the girlfriend, and never told her that they went and got married maybe a year before. Like, also, he should know his anniversary. He acts like, I mean, yeah, I think we're married. Like, I think we are. I'm like, what? What the hell kind of relationship is that? But also, it is a huge deal to go on a mission. I mean, they're not going to see him for a year and a half or 2 years, maybe. I don't even know if they can talk to him on the phone. I do think they can talk to him on the phone, but I'm not sure. I would be devastated if I didn't know something that big about my kids. It's just weird. Maybe when they're like 40, they don't tell you everything. I mean, I don't know. Y'all know I lost my mom about 4.5 years ago. I'm 50 years old. So I had her till I was about 46 years old, whatever the math is. I did tell her a lot though. I mean, maybe not every nitty gritty thing, but if I got married or if one of our kids was going on a mission, my mother would know. So the fact that they don't know just, oh, I know I'm judgy. That's super judging me, but I don't care. That's super weird. Weirder than that, Mary's green carpet. Okay, it's not the fact that it's green. We've seen this carpet before. We know that her house looks very 80s. It's not that it looks cheap because I can't really tell. They don't really show it enough. It just looks like she hasn't updated anything in 30 years. I'm like, oh, maybe 40. And they own all these properties all around. I don't know if they rent them out. I would assume that's how you make money on stuff. I don't really know, but I think they've got a house in Miami, a house in Las Vegas. I think that's how they make their money. Because if the church isn't really up and running right now, does she make a salary from that? I don't know how any of that works. But the green carpet, what struck me is how it looks like no one even walks on it, y'all. That means, because you know how gross carpet gets, right? Like from walking on it, stains, what have you. So it's not the fact that it's green and super insanely outdated. It's the fact that, do they have any friends or family come over to their house? Are they ever hosting? This carpet looked like it was installed yesterday. And if this green ass carpet was installed yesterday, then I have bigger questions about her design, because she seems to be so into how she dresses, how she looks, all these designer brands that she wears. I'm just shocked that her house looks the way it does. So later when they show who comes over, Mary's still in her pajamas pretty much, Was it Meredith that came over? Yeah. Meredith comes over, and then you see more of her kitchen. She's got the green like granite that was probably the 80s or 90s also, right? Maybe early 2000s if we're being super nice about it. And then these light blue, maybe kitchen cabinets. Like they don't match at all. Like I kind of want my housewives that are putting their houses on TV. I want it aspirational. Like when if I have better kitchen cabinets than better kitchen countertops than Mary M. Cosby, that's not the kind of crap I want to watch. Ew. I just Aw. Oh, y'all are talking about sad stuff. Oh yeah, I know. I brought up the fact that my mom died. And now we're gonna. I know it is sad when we lose people for sure. But that will lead us into Teresa Caputo because they definitely talk about that. The after show with Pej Vidot and Carney Wilson, they're talking about death and just kind of bringing not death in a sad way, but bringing hope back to us to let us know that people who have passed on are like doing okay, or that how they went fast, they didn't have pain and agony and all those kinds of things. Okay, Angie's Easter, I guess Greek Easter party. Mary calls, it looks like within an hour, and cancels on coming. Like I would have been so pissed off. That party was gorgeous. It was to the nines. It was amazing. For Mary to call and act like, oh, I'm really sad. No, she had already told Meredith she wasn't going to be there. Meredith had already said she was happy that she had these GLAAD awards to go to because she didn't want to come. So we can see the sides that are being drawn here for sure. I just think I would have called her out. I would have said, okay, your house in Las Vegas flooded a year ago and now it's ready and you need to go look at it. Like so weird. Yes, I love that. Cat in Southern California. I'm 58 and I definitely do not tell my mom everything. Not everything. I mean, not like, I banged my husband last night, but who was it on a podcast recently? Oh, Nicole Ryan and them. No, that's not what it was. Somebody, who was it on a Housewives recently, or Jeff Lewis with their mom? Somebody, who was it? But somebody was talking about like sex in front of their mom, like super detailed. And I was like, no, my mother did not want to hear it. Like every time we told my mom that I was pregnant with another kid, my dad lived till we had 2 kids. So my dad passed away when I had a 2.5-year-old and a 5-week-old baby. So my dad knew I had at least done it twice in life, right? That's all they need to know about it. If you're pregnant, from natural conception, then you've done it. You've done it like twice. My mom was alive to know the 5 kids we birthed and then the 2 miscarriages that we had. So my mom, every time we told her that we were pregnant again, it was just like, but I didn't tell her the details of like that stuff, right? Okay, speaking of moms, Monica and her mom getting into another disgusting fight. Monica being super rude to her mom. Like, do you feel like Monica's mom should have intervened in this argument with Monica and Angie, or she should have left it alone? Did she make it a bigger deal than it even was? Because I can't tell who was paying attention. Also on Watch What Happens Live last night. No, not Watch What Happens Live. Monica, I saw on somebody, they reposted her Instagram rant, and she basically was like, come at me for all these things, but never say that I was screaming and making a scene in front of my 4 daughters, because it's not true. She says most or all the kids were downstairs in the basement doing Easter activities and nobody was there. But you can see the editors at least showing what are Monica's kids, like 5 and 7 now, or 5 and 6, or 6 or 7? I think they've had a birthday since another episode was on. They're showing those girls kind of looking, they're showing kids the eyesight, but that could have been editing, which is kind of wrong, because if kids really weren't there listening or seeing this argument between Angie and Monica, and then of course Monica's mom coming up, the editors shouldn't have made it seem that way, right? Maybe super sketch. I don't know. Super sketch. Anyways, Venus says, I felt awful for the mom. I can't tell. Is she a really crappy mom? Like even on the show in the confessional, she said, Monica said, I wish I had a different, I hate that I hate to say that I wish I had a different mom. I'm like, oh my God. I loved my mom. I was very lucky. I come from a long line of great moms. My grandmother, my great grandmother, on my mom's side. I just can't imagine saying that. But if she really did have a crappy experience as a kid, I guess she has a right to say that, right? Oh my God, I don't even know. Oh, Melanie, yes, I know your mom passed away recently. Somebody says your mother is smiling at you, Melanie. I love that. I love how supportive our Jump Back community is. It's amazing. Okay, the mint green trench coat. Why did Monica leave it on? Why is there such a thing as a mint green trench coat? I am not super into fashion, okay? But you can tell that, well, this was Easter, so it was April. Oh, okay, never mind. I'm going to have to give her a pass. Even though it's snowing, that is officially spring colors and it was an Easter event. That's why the mint green trench coat. I was about to be like, look, black, tan, you needed some other color, right? But okay, my real thing is, why'd she leave it on the whole party? Like, I never even saw what she was wearing underneath. All the other people and the kids are all in these normal, something is tickling me, like my hair is tickling me. Um, they have all their jackets off. I mean, was it cold in her house? Like, why have this jacket on the whole time? That was so weird. Oh, I love that, Melanie. Um, okay, let's get into Jeff Lewis Live. Teresa Caputo, he called her a psychic medium. I think she wanted to be called something else. What was she calling herself? I guess she calls it the spirit. So I was there in New York with my friend Annette. Shout out, caller Annette. When we were there for like the Amy Phillips and Watch What Happens Live. We were there for a couple of other events. But Annette said, "Hey, let's go to this coffee shop in the ground floor of the SiriusXM studio. We can listen to the show together. We can have some hot chocolate, which was so good. And then we leave to go out." And she heard Teresa Caputo. So with this, what is the late Claudette, whatever the lady's name was that Jeff was talking about, her person that helps her, were there, and they were so nice. Her hair is just as big in person as you would think it was. I did ask to see her fingernails. They're very long, very detailed. Like, I do not know how she wipes her butt with those, but she was so, so, so nice. They were waiting on their car service, which didn't come. We were all inside. She gladly took a picture with us. Then I hear Shane's voice, and Shane and Jeff, it's this big, so the Sirius XM, the building is on the name. It's right by all that area in New York City, the big area, not Times Square, all the area with all the holiday decor. Anyways, it's in a big popular touristy area, so it's easy to find. But they are coming out, Shane and Jeff. So I did take a picture with them. Rockefeller, yes, it's right by Rockefeller. Thank you. And they were so nice also. So anyways, but Jeff seems fascinated with her. Like, we know he's got Scary Sherry that he sees on the weekly. That's his own personal psychic. He did tell us some insights though, and this kind of made sense. I guess she had something going on with her son in her own personal life, something sad, it sounded like, and she was kind of off for a while. So he says that now things are better with her son and things are back on. Like, he feels like her things that I know what it is. He says a psychic with Scary Sherry is more someone that tells them what's going to happen, things are going to happen in the future. Teresa feels like she's talking more to people that have passed away in your life, right? What were they calling it though? What was she really calling herself though? I guess she keeps calling it the spirit, right? But I love that they both now know what Kohl's Cash is. So Jeff was like, so I'm really here for ad week. And we met with Kohl's last night and they were explaining Kohl's Cash. I mean, of course, Teresa Caputo knows what Kohl's Cash is. Who doesn't? So our Kohl's is one of the stores that you can now return Amazon packages to. So that's how I get suckered into shopping at Kohl's, because they used to give you a coupon. I think it was 30% off. So if you spent it that day, you got 30% off on one item. Now they've changed it. Of course, they've made it worse. I think it's 15 or 20%. I've got a hair tickling me, and that's going to drive me insane. I swear to you. When I have a hair tickling me, it drives me nuts. That's why I want my hair in a ponytail all the freaking time. Anyways, then they start talking about how he met with Anheuser-Busch. It seems like it went well. And I think Michelob Ultra is probably a good option. I mean, definitely Jeff and Shane, every one of the chomps are all into their weight and what they look like. They want low calorie, low carbs. So that's definitely a good option, I think, for being an advertiser on there, right? Anyways, I can't type when mine are long. Yes. I don't know how all of the Kardashians, like, how do they have long nails with the babies? Like, are they never changing their baby's butt? Have they, babies wiggle. Can you imagine? Can you imagine like scratching the butt of a baby? Like, they've done that if they're actually changing their kids' diapers. Oh, it would take me 4 times as long to be that careful. Oh my God, I would just die. Anyways, but then he's talking about this new TV show that she has coming out early 2024 called Raising Spirits on the Lifetime show. He calls it a reality show. She called it something else. It's going to be more like just what she's doing, her and her team, her pod, whatever they were calling it, what they're doing when she's not doing all of these live shows. So it does sound like a reality show to me, but I think she really means that she just kind of shows like everything that's going on related to her business. So I don't know. I would watch it. I love a reality TV show. Love it. And like I said, she is so nice for sure. Amazon has scammers. Wait, who's a scammer? Scammers, like Jeff Lewis says. Yeah, for sure. I doubt the Kardashians ever changed a baby's diaper. I mean, I can't imagine, right? They do come off as like very hands-on moms, though. Am I just drinking the Kool-Aid, as they say? So Jeff, without saying his name, he is definitely telling us that this new house manager, Gus, has been fired. Didn't tell us exactly, but oh my God, y'all, the nitpickiness of it. He talks about like maybe they go to the grocery store and they forget 5 things, or maybe did they go to the grocery store and they buy some stuff that wasn't on the list? There's got to be something bigger to it because I can't imagine getting fired over that. But he has made comments somewhat recently about comments that this Gus has said things to Shane that were kind of weird, made Shane kind of feel uncomfortable. So I do think Jeff protects his people. And if something is going on like that, he's definitely going to get rid of them. But I sort of love that Nancy's coming back. I think he trusts her. Clearly, she's been with him so long, knows what she's doing. I don't think he's worried about what she's going to do. Oh, and dented his car. That is true. Yeah, hitting his car into the gate. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, maybe that was big. Oh my God. Anyways, what else? Jeff shedding people. Who is he shedding? Like, we know y'all are DMing me. We know there's like assumptions that they might be on a pause, but I'm so confused because on Monday's show, Jeff was talking about Stu like normal. Everything seemed fine. I don't know for sure who Stu was following or who Jeff was following, who Kian was following, but y'all are definitely sending me some message saying there's definitely some blocks or unfollows going on. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't recently. I can tell you because people are DMing me. Jeff apparently stopped, from what I remember, Jeff stopped following Stu back in December after that last breakup, and he never refollowed him as far as I know. Stu would do like the follow, unfollow. I think if they were having a tiff or something and y'all would notice and y'all would tell me. But I think the last time he stopped following him and never refollowed was that weird Friday morning argument they had. Like Jeff was getting into the shower and Stu asked him a question, I guess, about a DM that he had gotten. So, but clearly they got back together since then. They were just at Taylor Swift movie on Friday night. Like, what in the hell happens? And y'all have noticed, what is it about New York City that Jeff seems to want to be on a pause? Does he have a side piece in New York City? Who in New York City is banging Jeff Lewis? I'm literally dying to know. Somebody is banging Jeff Lewis. Oh my God. Yes, he was supposed to be on the show that day. Yeah, for sure. Cindy says Jeff was making fun of Stu and Taylor Swift about Taylor Swift. Stu's made it clear not to talk about him on the radio like that. Oh, I don't know. I thought Jeff talked about like not making Stu look bad. I don't think teasing him about Taylor Swift. I mean, I think it's kind of funny that a grown man loves Taylor Swift and he was proud of his fancy, hoodie that I think his friend Ronnie Tits had given him, right? So I thought that was cute. What else with Teresa? She's got a podcast called Hey Spirits. I didn't understand this, did y'all? She says people can call into the podcast and that's where she does her readings. But does that mean the podcast is live? Like, I felt like she could have done a little bit better job explaining this, because I think even Jeff was trying to ask, and a caller wanted to call in and get a reading from her. But I don't know if they could get a reading. I think you have to listen to the podcast. So somebody let me know if they know that's how it went. That caller that called in that had lost her daughter from a fentanyl overdose. I don't remember when she said it happened, but that is such a horrific, trend that's going. I don't know. When has fentanyl been around? I don't know, but it's a huge thing. A lot of kids are trying it and something's happening horribly on the first try because they're putting the stuff into things. And it was just awful to hear. But it does sound like Jeff was so upset about it, obviously. And I do think that Teresa Caputo was able to give her some calmness about it and everything that's going on, right? Did y'all feel that way? 7 months ago. Oh, Lola Gucci. I can't even imagine. That's just awful. Yes, Kathy Evans. It's being cut with other products. She thought it was just a Xanax. And that's the things that all of us, I hope, are talking to our kids about, which, I mean, you can only say so much. A kid is going to make a mistake, and sometimes it can be fatal, right? So I think a lot of us are talking to our kids about, people can put this drug into something that they didn't think that it was. And then and you can die on the first time. But you know what? Teenagers, kids, adults, no one ever thinks bad things are going to happen to them. So I think this goes back to the Shannon Bedore thing. I get DMs all the time saying, she has enough money. She should have gotten an Uber. I don't think it has anything to do with having money. It has to do with she wasn't in a situation to think clearly and make a good decision. And that's why she made the bad decision to get in her car and drive, right? Just awful, just awful. Okay, the after show was Carney Wilson and Pej Badat. Carney didn't really talk. She did talk about that she's lost 27 pounds. She's in this Women's World magazine. She looks great. She is eating super clean. I do not know how she's doing that. Like, y'all, the amount of sugar. So my 8th grader yesterday texted me on the way home on the bus and said, "Hey, can you and I go to Crumble Cookies after school today?" And I'm like, I mean, yeah. Now, the amount of Crumble cookies that two or three of my oldest daughters, when it became a trend and it was only in Houston, they would go there and buy like 6 cookies. It's like $30 to buy 30 or 40. Their cookies aren't cheap, right? And then they'd put them in the refrigerator. Like, ew, they would get all hard and dried out and crusty. The amount of those big pink rectangular expensive cookie boxes that I have thrown in the trash because my kids go and get them and then they don't even finish eating them. Like a family of 7, we can't even eat 4 or 6 cookies because they're ginormous, y'all. And they're super rich. So we go and I get, they only have the flavors that they have out. So you have to pick from those. But they have one called Molten. Well, it reminds me of the dessert that's on the Carnival cruises that I love. And it's like this melted chocolate inside. Y'all, I had a third of it. I had no milk because, of course, I'm eating it. Because then we walked down the same shopping strip to Nothing Bundt cookies, or Nothing Bundt, the cupcakes thing. And I wanted one of those. Oh my God. So then I get 12 of those. So we're waiting on that order. And I eat part of that cookie. So I had no milk or anything. It was so rich. And I love chocolate. I love chocolate on top of chocolate with chocolate chips and fudge brownies and a chocolate syrup, all of that there. It's very rich, but I was dying, but it was really good. But I'm telling you that because I have eaten so much junk in the last 2 days. My body is not happy with me. So I really need to be eating clean like Carney Wilson is. But I just love sugar so much. She is not eating sugar. She's not eating dairy. I don't even know what she's eating, but she's still baking. That's crazy to me. I could never bake these insanely good things. She tells Pez she had a bite of it and spit it out. I guess she just wanted the flavor of it, but good for her. She's lost 27 pounds. She says that her husband goes on, no, it's not Ozempic. She's very clear about that. And I don't know. She's definitely had the lap band surgery. I think she's had it twice. Hasn't she had like two different things? So I don't know how that works with your stomach expanding. And I do watch 600-Pound Life, so I should know all this. Dr. Now is in Houston. His office is here. She's eating sweet potatoes. Oh, sweet potatoes. That's what she eats. But that's a lot of carbs. I don't know. She did have a serious health scare. She had something going on where they thought her gallbladder was bad, and so that really freaked her out. But that's a lot, 27 pounds. But she said she feels great, and she might even start hiking with her husband Rob. So that was really good. They talk about a lot of belief in psychics, numerology, the whole numbers thing. All I know is me and Jeff Lewis and Shannon Bedore's birthdays are March 24th. If I see the time on a digital clock that says 3:24, I get all like excited. And if anyone's with me, I'm like, oh, 3:24, it's my birthday. So I'm not truly into numbers and numerology that way, but I'm super weird into numbers as far as like the way it worked out. My kids, all five of them are 2 years apart school-wise. Their graduation years were 2020, 2022, 24, 26, 28. So I like that evenness, right? Like my house, the front of it is like 2 bedrooms over here, 2 bedrooms over here. It's very symmetrical from the front. So I'm very type A like that. I don't know. It's kind of weird. But then Pej starts talking about his dogs and he gets all like talking in a baby, like a baby voice. He smells his dog's ears and the paws. Like, y'all know we have Luna. There is nothing about smelling her paws that I want to do though, or her ears. Like my husband cleans her ears with like, I don't know what it is, alcohol. He takes a thing and cleans her ears. But I don't smell them. Pej was acting like that's a thing. Like, is that a thing to smell your dog's ears and your paws? What? We have a big backyard, so we don't clean the poop. It's only Luna out there, but we're not walking in that part of the grass all the time, right? My kids are older. They're not like playing on the swing set or anything anymore. But I always wonder if she ever steps in old poop that we haven't picked up yet. So that would be on her paws. So I definitely don't want to do that. Oh no, it says my house does not look like Melissa Gorga's. I think she fixed it. I think Melissa Gorga then fixed the exterior of their house. Thank goodness. That was driving me nuts. Y'all, Joe and Melissa Gorga's house, the doors were off center. Oh my God, the way that drove me nuts. I was like, no. Oh my God. Just seems I don't really answer things people ask. She doesn't really answer things people ask. Oh, in TikTok. I usually try to if I see the comments or at the end. So right now is the time for questions. Okay, but Lola Gucci, you check for infections or inflammation, but no, he sounded like it was like the best smell ever was to smell your dog's ears and paws. It was so weird to me. Oh, thank y'all, AC. I love that. Oh, if paws or ears smell like Frito chips, it signals an issue. They were talking about Frito chips and like corn chips, which is the same thing, right? That's so weird. Krista says, I'm going to be sick. I mean, they were just so happy to talk about it. I guess it's like new moms talking about the color of their baby's poop. They were just like, so my brother smells his dog's ears. Okay, so I guess if you're checking to make sure they're healthy, then that makes more sense. But that's not the way it sounded to me on the after show. It sounded super weird. Anyways. Oh, I don't watch anymore. I think it's such a quick fix that some people would like. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. Any more questions? If not, we're going to round it out. Well, BK, do you have a question? Or you're just going to say that I don't answer questions. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for joining live. It is so much more fun, I promise. If you're on the replay, thank you for watching the replay. Make sure to hit like, make sure to hit subscribe, the thumbs up button on YouTube. Make a comment. It all helps with my engagement. I would really appreciate it. Somebody says, how do we get in touch with Scary Sherry? For the longest time, they were trying to work out like an email system for her. I think if you DM Shane or Jeff, maybe they will give you her information, because I do know that she does give readings, because somebody has told me lately that they have readings from her. There's also somebody, this is weird, and I'll tell y'all real quick. Somebody months ago in this other Jeff Lewis Facebook group, not Jeff Lewis Obsessed, put Scary Sherry's phone number. I never knew if it was real or not. I didn't try to reach her. I think it was fake, but yet people go to her thinking she's Scary Sherry, and she doesn't tell them that she's not that Scary Sherry. And it's not her. It's a totally different person, because one or the other, I think Sherry has an apartment and this other person has a house, and they've been to the house. It was so weird, y'all. But if you DM Shane or Jeff, if she's doing, readings, psychic readings, they will give you her name or phone number or email, whatever. So anyways, okay, I will see y'all later. Bye, Chumpettes. Bye, Instagram. Wait, did I get off?